So hello everybody and welcome to the first RMR or Random Manga Recommendation podcast. For that one person that might ask, hey, did you done a video about this already? Wasn't there just one person? Yeah, well, I don't get to the point and I thought this time I'm going to invite some people to talk about some good stuff. And I think it's going to be fun to, talk about this and discuss this with other people and not just me rambling for like 20 minutes about nothing, So that's why I thought I'm going to start a new series, which is kind of like the same as my K-podcast. It's going to be every month. We are going to read the manga. Either it depends on the chapters. Either we are going to fully read it or we are going to read it to a certain chapter if this manga is like super, super big. But probably we can kind of make it to read this fully. And that's what we actually going to do, and that's what we also done for this first episode we are going to bring out. We are actually read Ral Grad. I hope I spelled this right because I have no idea how to talk that. But we did this. And now I give over to my lovely co-hosts who are going to introduce themselves. Jamie.
Hey guys, I'm Jamie. I'm one of Steph's weird friends.
No, okay. Yeah, that's a weird friend.
I'm Misaki. I'm not so weird, I hope. No, I'm totally weird.
Yeah, all in there.
Yeah.
And hello, I'm Shinpoki. Me and Steph have done a video or two on perverted things, so I thought, hey, I'll join in this for the perverted things, and I'm also a bit of a weirdo too.
Yeah. That's good stuff. And actually, as you can maybe see in the setup, there's actually another person. It's Infernikus, but he sadly can't join us today for our first thingy because of the man flu.
Man
flu. No, he's really sick, so he sadly can't join us, but he's going to join us for the next month one. So, how are we going to set up? Well, I would say the first part is going to be all the spoiler-free part. We are going to talk about like things we liked about the manga and all that jazz. And then to a certain point, but I will announce this, we will really fully go into it, like really fully discuss every detail in the manga. Means there will be a lot of spoilers. So you might want to turn off at that point. But again, as I said, I'm going to announce the time for it. So for the time being, now for the start, I'm going to read the a little description of the manga. I got this from my anime list, so you can check it out there as well. Here it says, in Blue Dragon, shadows can fuse with their hosts. This is the history of the teenager Ral and his shadow, the Blue Dragon Grado. That his father, a king, imprisoned together in the dungeon of the castle when Ral was a young baby. One day, when the shadows besieged the castle, his personal educator Mio released him to protect the castle and rebel against the shadows. It's like the little description of the whole manga. Again, you can check it out, and I think we are going now into this spoiler-free part where we say what did we enjoy about it, what was the not so, and yeah. Who's going to start? Nobody.
Shall we go with
Yeah.
with our first with Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah. I really like the progression of the character. He kind of learns as he goes.
Yeah.
It's a really nice, it's a refreshing way to see how the character gets into new characters and how he meets new friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Like especially, his powers kind of also develop.
Yeah.
I can't say too much. I don't really want to give any.
The thing is, I wouldn't say it's that refreshing as it actually is. Way like something that happens is quite a lot of shonen. Like this is the typical shonen setup. And it quite happens in a lot of those shonen mangas. But I quite like from the point we have him, like we all know it. When we get into the spoiler part, it's going to be so fun. But from the point we like his preferences about some things change it then till the end. So that is quite pretty. I think that's a lovely twitch in this. Yeah, I enjoyed this as well.
Yeah, should I start?
You can read like nobody needs to wait till one person is like finished. You can just
We're so formal. Just like, okay.
more formal than the ladies I had the podcast in the K-pop one. Like we were like, oh my god, did you say? And oh yeah. So just jump in there.
We're a very, very personal, formal group. Well, I did enjoy the artwork a lot.
Yeah.
Did you know it's the same guy who did also Death Note?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
so
did.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I really like this. Yeah, and this world is very interesting. Like the shadow thing and the dragon. I like this fantasy setup.
Yeah.
So
That's true, yeah. I enjoyed this as well, like the whole fantasy and being a little bit like middle-aged.
yeah.
This whole, like, it little reminds me like the whole Game of Thrones setup kind of like thingy. So that's something I really liked as well.
Yeah, the character artwork for the dragon or these little shadows, which varies a lot, which is really cute.
All the shadows are really good. also then the bigger ones, like later on in the stories, they are so good.
I think it's so hard to like not go into spoilers right now. So like
We have
I would
to
say
get used to this.
I know. It's like I would say that it's not what I thought it was going to be, definitely. Especially the main character.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was kind of going to be you're saying, like typical, especially it kind of reminded me of Naruto in a way.
Yeah, that's true.
With that origin story.
That's being like also his like totally straightforward, naive, dumpy side. Yeah.
But no, he's definitely like his personality was definitely different from what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
That's true.
Forward.
wait a second, you have to repeat this.
Like this compared to other mangas was very straightforward.
Yeah,
His whole it's a whole Spanish thing.
yeah, that's true. That's true. His whole liking for a different for a thing we are going to discuss later. It was so straightforward. Like normally they would all do like a total like fuss about like Naruto. When we get him, like when we have him in comparison, like. We all know he was also a little pervert, right? But they kept it a little bit more shrink down. But
More through his thoughts as well. Like.
I mean, the problem is I spoiled it a little bit, but he has like Ral has really a passion for something that's just so forward. And sometimes even though I'm so into ecchi and that's something I so enjoy, sometimes it really annoyed me. It annoyed the hell out of me. There was
in the beginning,
in the beginning, and also how he like treated Mio sometimes. It was like, oh come on, you little asshole.
Oh yeah. Did she not remind you of Hoshi a little bit?
Yes, from the game we played together. Yeah, it's like really nice. Like I actually like Mio, but Mio was also like when we now a little bit discuss the character. Ral, we have our outgoing typical main dude. Mio was also quite typical. She was like the little bit damsel in distress. See how you call it?
Super laid back.
Yeah.
With a lot of things.
Yeah. Sometimes I wished, first of all, that's the point as well. Sometimes I wished she would have done more and been a little bit more strict and would have gotten a little bit more power in.
She was very giving Ral all the freedom, like. He wants to do something. Oh, please go ahead and do it.
Yeah, like no discipline at all.
I would slap him in the face.
Half the stuff he says.
Like he's so young, and she's like, oh, he needs to figure out this thing. Let him do it.
Yeah.
He needs to sleep in a certain way.
Yeah, it's like no, not even for this age. Come on, stop it.
I know, but the fantasy aspect was really nice.
Yeah.
I liked the kind of the knightish kind of medieval little slight feel of it, you know?
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Same. Jamie, do you have anything to say? It's like it's just us girls talking and you, Jamie, okay.
Yeah, my computer's kind of acting up a bit. It's pausing now and then.
Don't worry. As long as we can hear you a little bit, then once in a while be like, yeah, that's right. That's it.
First podcast look, basically.
Yeah.
We're new at this, guys.
Yeah, that's like...
I think he's kind of powerful from the start, though, wasn't he?
Who?
Ral.
Yes, but...
He was kind of born, and he was kind of like straight away, like the most...
he has had a pretty huge knowledge about the whole fighting, even though he was like all this time in this cage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's only 15 and never went out, but he suddenly... But the other part, if we take then, like, the dragon, like, he knows everything from him, so...
Yeah, he should have like 1,000 years experience. So
Yeah.
It's just not really conveyed properly.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been interesting if he was like a little older as well.
Ral?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Sometimes it was so, he's so young, nah.
Yeah.
I was
like,
surprised by his age. I thought he was a bit older when I saw the cover image.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes too, like in the fighting scenes, like he, you know, it's like that's what he should look like, and then like, he just has these little kind of little tiny boy. And
Yeah.
like, no.
Exactly.
Yeah. True. Another guy that also I liked a lot in this and was like a little bit typical for being like the hero in it is Kafka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed this typical pretty boy.
Yeah. But
Tough.
I totally enjoyed him together with Riz, his like what was it?
His partner.
Yeah, his partner. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have spoiled. Maybe later. His partner together. I enjoyed, even though Riz didn't talk much as Grado. Right, Grado always was like in the thoughts of Ral and Grado were always talking to each other. But I liked them together, being like he's a pretty boy and then getting like this kind of shadow. So that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. It's like that. It looked like. With like the floralness, it's like a bit of Oren High House Club there. I kind of felt for a bit. Pretty boy.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's just so hard to not edge into spoilers.
Yeah, I wanna go full out.
Yeah, well, let's at least talk about Aya and Sons then at last. I mean, we also have Galette, Senel, and Leia, but we might, and Bira, like Bira is the bad, the number.
Right?
Bira is the number one bad girl in this whole thing.
Obscura is, no?
That's Bira, yeah. That's
Bira.
Bira, yeah.
They were the same.
But Bira is Obscura's
yeah. No, it's no. They are the same. Bira and Obscuria, I think it's the same. They called her Bira or Obscuria.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, or I thought so. No, there was.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. There was this spidery thingy. The one is much.
It had another name because I was confused as well. But I think it depends on the background of each person. They changed to Bira or Obscuria.
Yeah, they changed, but I think then with like Aya and Sons are the typical like Moe effect, or like not Sons, but like Aya, the little one, the lolly in it. We have to say,
Yeah.
But she was so cute though, and her connection to Kurukuru is so cute. Oh, I like them so much together. Like she didn't done anything in the whole thingy to say, but the whole connection, I think, and she was helpful in quite some points. But I think her shadow, which is actually Jamie's picture, Kurokoro is pretty funny.
Because
it's the
every
best
time
thing.
you see him, it's hilarious.
It is. So okay, so we really want to talk about all the spoiler stuff. So now maybe have at least a little kind of like summary. if you like shonen kind of based stuff with a fantasy background, like
Ecchi.
and ecchi, yeah, there will be a lot of ecchi in it. Ecchi and like this middle-aged, not middle-aged, middle, this past life stuff.
Medieval.
Medieval. Medieval stuff, then I think that's something for you. Also, it is quite short. It only has 30 chapters, was it?
No, 30 volumes.
30 volumes, yeah.
No, 4 volumes, sorry.
Yeah, then it was volumes and 30 chapters, so it's quite short. You can read it.
It's a nice light read, like.
Yeah. Light read in maybe a day or something, or if you want to like take your time a little bit, you can make it in a week. Kind of. So yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know. I'm not good at this, but I think. Do you guys have anything like to say in a summary way about this?
I mean, I think we were saying kind of it's quite typical in a way to the shonen, did we say?
Shonen.
It's like
you know nothing, Jon Snow.
You were not the first person to say that.
Oh no, it's okay.
No, but like if you kind of like that, it is like. To me, well, so this is going to the end of what I think about it. But no, it's good. It's kind of different, kind of weighing away from... I think there's a lot of kind of ninja stuff at the moment going on right now.
Yeah.
But if you do kind of like Naruto, you will like the characters.
Yeah, that's
because,
true.
There's enough personality in them to kind of grab your attention.
Yeah.
And like... Of course, the manga is very nice to look at.
Yeah, it is.
In certain pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I really love the whole concept of the shadows and, won't go too much into it. But also, if you don't fancy reading, just stick around and listen.
Yeah, that's true.
Also easier,
That's true.
But definitely, if it sounds like a cup of tea, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It does not take that long. Don't worry, people. It's okay.
Jamie, any last words?
Yeah, it's a good short read. It's not too long, so yeah, you should actually just read it anyway. Even if you don't really like it that much, it's pretty short.
Yeah, it's good for
really.
Yeah.
So I recommend to everyone.
Okay, good. But the recommend part will be last. So now let's go into the spoilers. I would say everybody, like that one person that watches my video, if you don't want to get spoiled, if you don't want to know like really fully in detail everything about this, then stop here, search for the manga and read it yourself. And otherwise, we are going to start exactly now the spoiler section. And I said that ecchi stuff. Oh my god, all the boob grabbing from Ral. Oh my god, what the fuck?
But in the beginning, he's like to Mio, I wanna grab your boobs, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, no worries.
It's totally her fault. She's like, I want to motivate him. She's like, well, you can just give a grip.
Yeah,
my god.
How can she be so carefree?
I think Kafka's reaction is the best.
Yeah.
It perfectly explains everyone who's reading it going, did he really just say that?
Yeah.
But he's a bit tsundere, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Kafka
No, I don't like the princess.
Right up our street.
Yeah. I don't like her baka. Yeah.
Or when Aya came into the story, he wanted to go for Aya, but she was like only 30%.
Oh my god.
He's like, you're cute, you can join straight away, let's go.
Oh, you're such a pervert. To one point, I liked it because at the ecchi part is like so my thing. But sometimes when he like was so focused on all the poop grabbing, when they went to meet Kafka in that time when he wanted to grab the princess, or later on when they want to save the all those girls in the castle and stuff, when he went then with the snake girl, all that jazz, and like he's so naive in that point. And he's like so good in all the battle and stuff and so strategic and everything. But as soon as there's a boobs there, he's like, oh, I want to grab them first. Like people are dying next to it. No boobs, no.
He's like that's all he wants. He just wants to fight for beautiful women.
Yeah, that was a bit shallow. That annoyed me a little bit.
No, but going back to even the duel with like fighting for the princess's boobs.
Yeah.
Like even when he kind of lost for Kafka, and he was like, you know, I did it. He has those moments, he's like, I did it because I know that you like her and she should know, and she's all like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But but like he has these tiny moments of like, I'm a good-hearted person.
Yeah, he
Do
does.
not hate me for wanting boobs.
He does.
No,
Yeah.
It's so some of the stuff he comes up with though, you gotta be like, dude, like, come on.
Like in the beginning you're just like, oh, come on, get your shit together, and then okay, you can do it, do it, because it was so precious. So precious, those moments. Yeah, that's true.
I like how he could, everybody at Kafka was also kind of perverted by saying, why do you protect your princess? It's like, well, you only protect her because you actually do want to squeeze her boobies.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Kafka wanted it really, like, and he's like, no, like that's tsundere then, like Jenny said. Said already. So it's like, well, he got the point there. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why you kind of like him, is because you don't find... Well, you kind of do, but you don't find that many kind of young boy characters that are kind of that straightforward. Because most of them are like so nervous being around women. Whereas he's like, listen, I'll fight this thing, but I also want to grow up your tits.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm going to do things.
Yeah, he's more of the playboy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not that extremely like a playboy. Like, he is not that shallowy playboyish, being like, hey, I can build you a castle with my dragon. No,
Don't
he's really
remember when he slept with these 5 girls in the bathtub
No,
in the beginning?
He didn't sleep with them. He just bathed with him and grabbed their boobs. So, like, he has nothing. Like, he was naked a couple of times in there, and he has like this part where it is like a part of the dragon. You know what I mean? It's not not the dragon dick. No, it's
please don't.
Like,
stop right here.
No, it's an armor down there. Like, it was always part of an armor.
Stop.
Like, he did not. I don't think he did slap with it. I don't think he would go this far. He wanted to. He was like innocently perverty. He only wanted boobs. That's the only thing he wanted the whole time, I have the feeling. So I don't think he went like further. But it's still like full straight in the beginning, going in the bathtub with 4 other girls just to get their boobs in their hand. Like, oh, come on.
But let's get deep. Maybe he just maybe he just missed his mother.
Yeah, that's true. That's the mother complex. Yeah.
The whole breast fondling and being safe and secure at night.
Yeah. But what's then with Aya? He wanted to be like, well, Aya is totally, like, he was not that pervert to her. Still a little bit, but not that extreme. Yeah.
Like, she's 13, but I'm 15. Like, the girl with his tongue.
Yeah. Like,
I love pulling his tongue.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cute when she came out of this cage, and then she was just sitting there, and Ral was asking her, and she was like, "Well, he likes when you play with his tongue." Oh,
the face on him.
Yeah, like the eyes in every direction. But there were little hearts there, so it liked.
Yeah.
Jamie's picture, basically.
It was so cute.
And legendary white tiger guy. What's his name?
Galette or something, how he called it?
Yeah, Galette. Yeah, that's it.
He was so, like, in the beginning I was no, he's an ass. But his whole, like, when you get the backstory with the part how he met the tiger and how the contract with him is, I can get why he's not, where he can't, like, do everything for everyone. So... I have to say he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, in the end, yes.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you think he's just a self-centered guy who just wants to, like, have a drink and fight everything, but then you see he cares about these people, and he starts later on to be more open. So... yeah, I liked him a lot. He was also more mature than Ral,
definitely. He was older, so...
Yeah.
That's why I have to give it to this manga. It's like, it really does kind of twist around personalities.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like with all of them nearly, because you think, oh, typical person. It's like, oh, hold on, I kind of like you.
Yeah. Ral changed a lot during the whole, like in the last in the last chapter, he changed a lot, and he grew so much. Like I don't want to spoil yet the end. Let's talk about this a little bit later. But the whole process of him, like even in this short manga, like it is pretty short. Such a good character progression, how you say, or its character development is really, I really enjoyed that. That even though the manga is short, for him grow in that kind of way, it's really nice.
Yeah. I thought when he abandoned Miu, that was a little bit out of character.
Definitely.
Because it was very suddenly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miu did a good part then starting to become stronger.
Yeah, and sticking to it. Even though I would have been, I helped you out so much and now you you push me away. What the fuck is wrong with you?
See you, bye.
Yeah.
No, I think she's too timid and a little bit in love with him.
Yeah, I think so
to be
too.
like, fuck it.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe too from her. Like, I thought it was kind of motherly, and then I'm kind of like, no.
Oh, that's a different kind of...
I mean, you don't just, remember she was like, when they're first in the castle, she was like, he has to sleep with his head in my boobs. And he's like, he can't, shut his eyes in the darkness and stuff. And it's like, girl, come on, like. Oh, it's insane.
Yeah. I think it's sad that Aya does not have a lot of, sure, she doesn't have a lot of progression, and that you kind of don't find out much about her. Also about her past and why she got in the cage and everything. That's pretty sad, I think. I would have wished there would have at least like a little chapter about it. Maybe something when she meets, I don't know, like some certain shadow, she remembers something, kind of like that, or some person. I wish there would have been a little bit more. Sure, she doesn't say anything in the whole thingy anyway, but I think she was quite cute and quite a adorable part of the whole group. So I wished she had a little
innocent, kinda,
a little bit more
substance or something.
Yeah.
I thought on some parts the story was a bit rushed. Like I would have enjoyed to meet each individual character a little bit more.
Yeah.
There were so many introduced, but we not gotten to know so many, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
I also barely got the names from Galets, I don't know, from the White Tiger dude, White Tiger dude's two companions, the two girls. There was one chapter or so, or one page where he said Zenel and Leia, or maybe a couple of pages where he said the names from them, but then they are and they had a pretty huge kind of like
wreck.
That's true. They had a pretty huge how do I call it? Huge role, a huge role in it. Like the Zenel, she was like with the bad shadow. She could hear everything, and then she captured all those shadows those good shadows in those coffin. Like, I think that's a pretty strong role, and I would like to have known a little bit more about this and get them to know a little bit. Or Leia with this, or Layla was it, with this cat shadow that just appears one time. I didn't even got really the name of it. It just appears one, and just getting the shadow out of it to connect all those good shadows with those guys in this one episode, one chapters. So I think those are really like strong roles. Without them, stuff wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So I wished also those two would have gotten a little bit more.
And even so, like Galette was such a strong and a bit lone character. Why did they stick together?
Yeah, why did they end up together?
Exactly. I agree. That's probably what my mostly at the end result's going to be, because I did feel like a lot of it was rushed.
Yeah.
They did give us so much characters, but we didn't get to kind of, especially when I like I felt like kind of each kind of, I wouldn't say it wasn't an arc really, but you know what I mean, kind of situation from like start, this is them, bam, go. It's like, I just want to enjoy it a little bit more.
Please.
Yeah, that's true.
also the fights. Some just lasted like 3 pages.
Yeah.
Some fights.
Pages, like, oh, cool.
Like when I remember Bleach, they last like 100 chapters.
Yeah,
the anime was worse.
You have to consider that this is a short manga, so they can't
I
last
know.
like all the 30 chapters just with one fight.
What is your favorite villain though?
From this whole...
Mine would be Bera.
Yeah, I think so. Her whole being like so obsessed with... I would have actually want to know, that's also a part. How did she came to being like so obsessed with the beauty? Like they kind of scratched on it when Grado told Ral about the whole beer situation, but they never like got into it. The whole thingy with her being so obsessed with girls, so she gets all her underling shadows to bring her all the pretty girls all the time, and then she like eats them from within and stuff. And takes on the form, so it's quite interesting. But I think I really have to go, even though it was like not like it was more an anti-hero. Like I loved the Red Phoenix.
Oh yeah, she was so beautiful.
I loved her to one point. Like I get that the Red Phoenix was like tired. She just didn't know like. She always saw the fights going on and there was no like winning or losing, and so she just wanted to go with that what maybe was easier, and to the fact that Beer was holding like the Red Phoenix like as a kind of like maybe as not like a prison kind of thingy, and then giving it to the little girl. So I can understand to one point that the Red Phoenix was like, okay, I don't give a fuck, so I'm going to fight for her now. But I wish she was like, when I first, I read the manga like ages ago, and I couldn't even remember when that part then came up when I read this a couple of days ago. And I was at the point where I wished the Red Phoenix, when Galette told the story about all those animals, the White Tiger, the Red Phoenix, the Black Rhinoceros, and the Clear Human, when he told the story about all those shadows, I wished at least one of them would have also been on their side, on like with like showing up, and I actually hoped it was the Red Phoenix, but then
it was neutral at least.
It turned out neutral in the end, and it helped.
It was a bit too how do you say that when it's like it fits in perfectly, like it's a bit too
obvious,
convenient.
Yeah, convenient. Yeah. Like just as the immortal being, sort of. At the end,
it kind of felt like the end though. Is quite convenient.
But what I didn't get was at the end you see the Ral Grado merge and the Red Phoenix, and that there's something like I don't know the exact quote anymore, but like that they are together now, or I didn't really get what this means, because were they friends or what?
No. It's not that. Actually, Ral was talking to Grado in this last page. I know what you mean. Like the setup was that Ral and Grado like merged completely into one, but still having their single personalities, but still in one shadow being. So that's why he couldn't stay in the world with Mio. And when the Phoenix came back, he destroyed the egg of, like they all have eggs. Like I saw this with the Red Phoenix getting together with this little girl. He destroyed the egg from Obscuri or Bera, and so this shadow was restored again. And when they all flew or got then into their original world, Ral and Grado stayed back together, and he was like, and Grado was actually asking him why he could have stayed with Mio and the others, and that's why Ral said to him, but he had a friend for 15 years, like he was friend with Grado for 15 years. So dramatic ending. He actually stayed with Grado.
So cute.
That bit gets you. Like,
it was so.
Can you imagine if you stayed in the real world though? He's everywhere.
I wish there would be kind of like you wish it normally. Like when some end or another end happens, you wish there would be another end. I wished actually there would be a way for like both to exist. Like Mio wanted it. Like I want to have it. Like I'm a little bit on Mio's side in that part. I wish they could have lived together in a world, you know.
So, but it's too happy.
Yeah.
There needs to be a breakup.
Yeah, there needs to be a breakup.
The end dialogue's the best. It's like, no. It's like, what will you do? There'll be no pretty girls over there. And he's like, don't worry, I have boobs.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It's like he ends in his old fashion.
Yeah.
No miraculous, like, speech at the end, but it's like, no, I got boobs. Your boobs can stay here.
Yeah. That's true. When they all said like, "Oh, the Red Phoenix is a girl,"
Yeah.
Like, yeah. At least he sticks with this stuff. So, yeah, quite funny.
Which I did like as character design was the girl who tricks him on this island.
Snake Girl.
Yeah.
Snake Girl. Because I also like the Cobra design. That's really cool.
Yeah. That was really, really cool. Yeah, but I don't know if it was me for being like, I read this before, but that part when she said, okay, we are going there, but alone, was too obvious. Of course, it was a trick. Like, come on, guy, come on. And that even Kafka didn't got that part. I was like, what? Kafka, what's wrong with you? You are he's the Mr. Moral, like being like, you can do this, and we have to fight for humanity and all that jazz. And then it's like, you know, let them go alone into a, like, what was it, a tree house or something.
Yeah.
Let them go alone and do that. They're like, Kafka.
You're the voice of reason, kind of.
Yeah.
He softened up.
Yeah. He was so used to it that he was like, oh, just go away.
That or just him like on the boat getting seasick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his face was so funny. That seasickness. Oh yeah.
But it was kind of a trope, like the beautiful guy must be seasick, isn't it?
Yeah. Your fantasies have been axed, ladies.
Yeah.
But he did kind of like show, like he ended it well, right? He said, I'm kind of used to it now.
Yeah, but that was too late. They were already done with everything. Like the monster was defeated and stuff. I also think it was a little bit too easy for Galad joining Ral in that one fight when they fight it together, like with Suns especially. Like we don't even mention Suns, or don't even mention Suns at all. Suns was kind of like he wanted too much revenge, and he annoyed me to a certain point. But when he was all into the Ral is my friend, and Ral like reminding Ral how much they mean to each other, I really, really liked him. I was like, okay, he's the guy that brings out like the memories, like the typical key guy or the typical key person for a big change. So then I was like, okay, he is good. But with all the revenge with the Galad thingy, sometimes it was so, oh, come on. Yeah, I know he did shit, but stop it, please. But yeah, the shortness of the fight between then Ral and Galad, and he's like, okay, you won, and I'm going to join you. I was like, that's it.
Okay.
What?
That build-up.
Yeah, there was so much build-up, and then that's it.
Also by the length of the whole manga, it kind of seems like it's kind of like a lead-on to something that was supposed to develop into something bigger.
Yeah.
Like, for example, even after, like, it kind of feels like just as he evolves to his maximum or to the title of the manga, he kind of like disappears and says goodbye to everybody. So it's kind of like the start of a new life in the dark world, or maybe like at some point that he's gonna come and be revived again into the light one, but we will never know, I guess.
Oh, it's never.
We don't even get like an ending to the other people. We don't see what happens to Neo and stuff.
I know. But well, that's something that happens to like a lot, and sometimes I actually don't enjoy it if they show too much then, because the story is over and the story is over, you know what I mean? And if they then show like Mio getting pregnant and marrying Kafka or something else, you know, and Sans and Aya together, It's like, okay. So I think I kind of more enjoy those like in between closed and open endings, like being like the story to one point with Ral is over, but there's still the other guys. Like I actually enjoy this. Like it depends, I think, on the people, but or on your preference. But I think it's good. For me, it was good, definitely. But I get you, Jamie, with the whole progression of being like there could have been something more, or also I feel like already mentioned before that sometimes the fights could have been more, could have been a little bit like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The fights could have been like.
I did enjoy the one with the Red Phoenix. That was a good. But then with Bira or Obscura, that was over like in a second.
It was too short.
Yeah.
They traveled so much, and then, okay, it's over.
Yeah. Same with the Black Rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Like we knew he had this lag with the blue dragon flame from him anyway. So that was his. But it was too obvious that he had exactly like his weakness was exactly the blue flame that of course he had. Like I would have like done this a little bit, maybe give this to someone else. Like being like Kafka would be the one, like his Rose kind of shadow would have been cool to be like the one that's actually defeated him, you know what I mean? The Black Rhinoceros, and not typical like, you know, the blue flame thingy. So it was like, nah.
I feel like he had introduced too many characters. Like he could have, if he had less characters, he could have built more memories and more story and more character, instead of having a lot of characters and then having just 3 pages to finish them off.
Yeah, that's true. It was exactly the same with this spider dude, with this spidery thingy. Like I felt like I thought he is going to get a story as soon as Ral and Galette met in front of the net, in front of the spider net, and Ral gets wrapped into it, and Galette is like, "Yeah, are you stupid or something?" I thought he gotten a lot of story, but then it was a fake dude. Like to one point, I found this like interesting to being like it was actually a fake enemy, but I thought actually that that spider thingy will do something more than just at the end a little bit, and then gets defeated so easily. So yeah.
Yeah.
If you could pick like a smaller group, though, who would it be? Sorry.
Okay, we have this question, and then Jamie.
It's also kind of weird how he kind of figures out the weakness to every single enemy that he spots like that. Like, whoa. It's like, I'm actually stupid and I only want boobies, but when it comes to fighting, I was pretending to know exactly what your weakness is.
That's true. And then, he figures out everything, but then he gets with the snake girl, you know? Like, what the fuck? Are you stupid? Yeah, I get it, but that's actually something I feel like we talked in the beginning. He got all of his knowledge with the fighting stuff from Grado. Like in those 15 years, he told him he had 15 years to tell him like everything. So I think he got all his knowledge in that point from Grado, even though Grado always says, okay, the fight is your thing, you do the fight. You know, in the head, he's always like, you plan everything and I will just do what you say.
Yeah. But I think he got more knowledge from Mio because that was her role. He taught him everything.
But I don't think she taught him fighting that much. So
no, I mean the knowledge of the monsters.
But he didn't actually have that much knowledge. Like he had to ask Mio a lot, also with the spider. And I remember when he then figured out Mio is actually useful because the sons told him everything with the spider that I think like he really has to tell her, Mio, without you I can't do anything. Like I don't know the monsters. So I think Mio told him all just how it is to live and to speak and all that stuff. And but fighting, I feel like he might more have knowledge from Grado itself. So. Yeah.
I mean, he does become he's like a pretty flawless fighter.
Yeah, that's,
like
it's
kind of like something has to be in there.
Yeah, now to your question with who would I choose?
To make it more smaller, to kind of more...
I would actually stay with those and make the story longer. Because I actually still loved all of the character. I loved that Garlette had those 2 girls and they were useful for him too. So that they had something that he needed as well, so that they helped each other out there. And I also, maybe I would, I don't know if I maybe would combine Aya and Sans into one person. That Aya has like this Kurokuro thingy that helped out a lot. And this Kurokuro thingy that helped out a lot. But would have had more character, you know, a little bit more like Sans, being like talking more and not being like, Kurokuro, that's it. I love Kurokuro.
Yes.
You know.
Look at his tongue.
Yeah. Definitely.
I could have, I think the same. Just merge these 2 characters and give them more depth. And maybe, if it's not too long, get rid of the rhinoceros.
Yeah, that was so useless.
Yeah, like, it was just a 2-page fight or something, I don't know. So, having a bigger trouble with the Phoenix and then with
Bira.
Yeah.
But even at the end, right, so Obscura was only like one of the 13 kings or something, right?
Yeah, she was the clear human, that's true.
Yeah, so there's still like 13 bosses left.
No. There were 4 special shadows.
Higher ones.
Higher ones. Which
was Obscura like, okay,
I know what you mean. Vera mentioned somewhere earlier that she has some underlings, that she actually has, and I'm not sure if it was 13, but she actually said she has a couple of more underlings, where one of those were that spider guy was one of that. Yeah, she mentioned that before, that she actually had more underlings and more people who could like have fought against Wall. Yeah, I wondered that as well. That's true. I forgot. She mentioned, I think, somewhere in the manga that she has more stronger shadows under her who could theoretically fight against Wall and Garlette, but she was like, Spider Dude can't do anything, Phoenix is out, Rhinoceros is dumb as fuck, so I'm just going in there. So,
perfect.
Yeah, that was actually like, but the main, like, I would have enjoyed, I wouldn't have not get rid of the Rhinoceros, but I would have given him more strength and more progress and more something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. That's not the typical, like, dragon, tiger, and phoenix are the typical ones, you know, in all the mythical or mystical stuff. It's always so. I really found it really cool that they included like a rhinoceros or clear human. I really thought that was a good idea. But I wish they would have, like, it was just a fat black blob at the end, and I would say, what, that's the rhinoceros? No, like, it was not, you couldn't see anything, like, it was, you know.
Wasn't it a beetle?
Yeah.
For me, it looked like this beetle.
Yeah, it looks like something like when they explained, or when Garlette explained the whole shadow system, or explained there were like 1, 2, 3, 4 bigger ones. You could see the outlines in the drawing itself, and I thought it looked pretty cool from like the outline and the rhinoceros, and I thought it's gonna look really cool. And then the point came, and it was like, what's that? What's that blob? What's that blob? Blob of nothing.
What's that blob?
Yeah, it was just a black point. That's it. So
I'd love to see more on Vera, really.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that ending. That's the only thing that really kind of lets it down to me in a way. Is probably the ending.
Yeah.
I know. It's just, like Beerus does not explain. She kind of reminds me a tiny bit of what is her name from Full Metal Alchemist?
Lust.
Yeah. She kind of looks has that look about her.
Same. I thought the same. At one point, I thought the same. She's like the same sultry kind of like, I need all those pretty girls, and here you get my honey from my hand, and here my bra, and all that. Yeah.
Do you want my bread?
Yeah.
I expected more ecchi for the last bit. Like, since Grad's whole, like, his taunt was like, yes, I'm gonna do this and that to your boobs. And it's like, that's not...
Yeah, and then that's true. The etchiness really flutters away till the end. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
She's special, Cleavage. She doesn't get the etchy treatment.
Yeah, that's it.
I was kind of looking forward to the honey breast thing.
Yeah.
Which never came.
It was so funny when he said, I'm going to grab your boobs.
No, yeah, but she said he can lick the finest honey.
Yeah, and I was like, cringeworthy. Yeah. Well, it was actually pretty funny. I also liked when Kafka was like protecting the castle. I actually liked the shadow that had the split personality, that had the one shadow and one end, and like I like the concept of this. Like I can't remember when I saw something like this before. Like, you know, you have the one fighting shadow and that, and then on the other hand, with Bira, you have the other shadow that always like knows where you are and can give all the information. That was a really cool idea, I thought. Also, this whole watery demon or shadowy that came up then with the other guy, that was also a good one, I think.
He had probably one of the best intros, I think, Kafka.
Yeah. Being like the totally badass in a rose surrounding and all this flower shit. Yeah, that's true.
Just needed a close up with a rose and a wink.
Yeah, you should have like Sanji in One Piece being like ding.
Definitely.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, that would have been funny.
I just remembered we completely forgot. In the first chapters, there's this guy who keeps care of the castle, and we never heard of him back again.
Oh yeah, the big dude.
Oh yeah, the big dude. Yeah, I wished he would. Actually, I wished he would have joined the company of all of them.
But he was not a cute
girl. Girls and stuff, and never touched.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, he told him like, Roll Bobby, you can touch those girls, but they are mine. You can't have them. But all the other girls are yours. So just like what? But the buff dude. Yeah, I would have actually like this reminded me a little bit like the whole setup. Of course, reminded me of the typical character you see in every fantasy thingy. Like you would have had the buff guy that's always the one with the axe. You would have had the swordsman would be Kafka. Like typical, you know, and I would have actually would like to see like all those together. So the buff guy would have been funny, like in this group, I think too. And I would have also wanted to know what then, like all the shadows disappeared, so also the buff guy's shadow disappeared. What is its reaction been like? Okay, you know. He then stands there with nothing, like in the middle of nowhere, like he doesn't know anything, and they all disappear. So the reaction of all of this, they could have at least like do like, so they sometimes do in some mangas being like a panel or something, or a page with all the reactions of all the people being like stunned and looking into the sky, so we would have seen what happens to them. Yeah.
Even the atmosphere, like I thought it was a little bit hard to understand the context of how the shadows were made and stuff, and
the whole
where they all came from and what kind of world it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's actually true.
It really reminded me kind of Claymore.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, or not thought so, but if you say that, it actually does. Yeah. It kind of has this like with the yokai or yoma or what's those demons they have there. Yeah, they come. It would have been, also, like, it is so short. We really have to keep in mind that it is short, and we know it is going to be short, so they sure can't talk about everything. But I know what you mean. It would have been a little bit more enjoyable if they told a little bit also about Noir, the world the shadows come in, and how does the whole connection with them work. Like, you have those 3 stages. The first is just what was it? The first station where you're still you, but the shadow comes up in, or the shadow comes up in the shadow. Those monsters come out of your shadows. Then the second one where you're not you, like the whole shadow eats you as a person, and you transform into that shadow in real life and not being a shadow anymore. And the third stage where you eat, or where you grow because you eat all those other shadows. Like, that would be really cool if they told a little bit more about this. That's true too.
But that kind of, the shadows kind of reminded you of Bleach. With the things. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, those. But I would actually really go for Claymore. If you need to check out Claymore, and then you might would have, or both of you might would have said the same. It has a little bit of a Claymore vibe too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the only thing is, it kind of like, even near the end, when Neo and Suns got their shadows, it's kind of like, so kind of like any human can get a shadow.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Like, what were you waiting so long for?
That's actually true. And also that when Ral trains with Suns and be like, here, eat the snake girl and all that jazz, I'm be like, they explained at the beginning that if they eat, also it depends on your shadow, if he can eat a lot of other shadows or not. If he eats too much shadows, then he loses himself and can eat you, like, completely gets evil, you know what I mean? And I was like, that tiny thing from Suns, that tiny little, like, water, it's like water jumper thingy, eats like all those shadows and gets like super huge, And I think like, is this really like,
how did he eat that?
Yeah, first of all, how long did it take for this little one to eat all those bigger ones? But I think they mentioned that they were gone for 2 days and they didn't even search for them or something. Like, if I read correctly, then I think Kafka said something, I didn't hear back from them since 2 days, and I was like, why did you search for them? But I'm not sure if this was the case. It was also such a short part that it's kind of didn't keep, but it was quite funny or quite like, it's missing the parts there. Why is he able to eat all of those, like this tiny thingy, and are they not, or are they able to form those friendship bonds? And also why Mio didn't like ask earlier for a fucking shadow, and not like in the last chapter when she loses the shadow in the next page anyway.
Because convenient.
I let you win. You can go.
Yeah, I feel the idea of the story was very good, and the concept, but story writing could have been better. Yeah.
But the actually story is not like the original one. Like, it was actually, I read that. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't 100% like checked into it. But there is actually a game that called Blue Dragon, and there is an anime that called Blue Dragon. And that is actually, like, that anime is based on the game. And that is actually the basic idea for Ral Grad. And this game is actually a kid's game. It's like, it looks a little bit from design like Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump and all that. So it is actually a kid's game, I think. And so I think with this basis that he maybe tried to do it a little bit mature, especially with all the ecchi stuff, like that is not for kids. Yeah, I think, well, yes, he definitely could have if he not like shrinked it down on those poor chapters, but well, I think overall for this short on storyline, I think for the shortness, I really, really enjoyed it. I respect totally. I loved the progression of Val itself from being like, even though he was kind of like a little bit overpowered, I love the progression from being like the total pervert, doesn't know anything, but gets into a fight just because he wants to grab boobs, to the point where you really see in that last couple of chapters, I actually really want to save all human mankind, you know? I really want to save everybody. And I really liked him a lot at the end. He was really the annoying kid in the beginning, but at the end, him doing that, much respect.
True friend as well. The friendship goals.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it was more of a trial. I mean, there wasn't much of a basis on it rather than just the boobs and the fighting.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely it has some substance, but it is too short to really build something like huge where you can like kind of like compare it to the whole Naruto fandom, even though I don't want to mention Naruto because I have a hate-love relationship with this stuff.
You mentioned it like how many times already in this podcast?
Yeah, that's true. Shit. But or fandom like One Piece or something, like all those bigger ones. So it is quite sad because it has the substance for it, I feel like. It definitely has the substance for it to build something. And if they had like built out a whole bigger genre out of it or a bigger thing out of it, they could have introduced so many other characters, could have built way more shadows. I think that would have gone huge as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely could have went mainstream.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that really kept it together though was Ral's character. I mean, that was one really good point about this manga, I think because of the boobies and because he was so straightforward, like the straightforwardness really, that's like, finally, no more bullshit, just say your proper things, like, okay, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
You know it's the real reason why you're doing it.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just the jumping around the fire. It's like, okay, I'm going into it.
None of this like justice like sort of stuff. Yeah, it's like no, I just want the boobs.
Yeah, that's true as well. That's actually something. Yeah, that it's funny as well. He was like not the typical hero being like, I fight for human mankind, like not the Eren from Shingeki. No, he was like, boobs. That's the thing for me.
Yeah, and like no conflicts there. Like no way that he was wavering between morals or anything like that. It's more like he was pretty much.
Straightforward.
You know, it's like, yes, I do. I like this. This is why I do it.
Yeah. Even though it was like in the beginning, some parts so annoying. I was like, okay, we get it. We fucking get it. Okay. But still quite funny. Yeah. Well, is there other stuff that we should mention here, or do we think we are good here? I think
we covered most of the basis, which was especially the boobing groping.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you just read it and then come back to listen to this for references, you'll totally know what we mean. Like, we're not over exaggerating it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, I then would say we kind of like, as it is a recommendation podcast, I would say each of us say, would you recommend it or not? And maybe a little explanation why not and why yes. I go first and then like our pictures, like Jamie and so on. So I would say it is actually a yes and no, but I would go more for the yes side for a point that I feel like, even though, as I explained it before, even though it was a really short story, it was had some progression in it and some character developed to a certain point, to the point of the shortness. We still said it lacks a lot of this stuff, sadly, due to the shortness, but I feel like giving this part of the shortness, it has some good points. And if you like ecchi and the shonen, it is definitely shonen, then this is something that is like a quick read. You can like read on the bus or if you're on your way somewhere. So I think it is quite enjoyable, definitely, and I would recommend it, definitely, yeah.
I would say, like, for all those people who do not know what the heck we're talking about and really are curious, I definitely recommend having a read. Then everything will make sense at some point.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my thing.
All right. Well, I would recommend it for the character design. I enjoyed the characters, the shadows, especially Kurokuro.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, it is nice with the theme, the story itself. Well, I wanted to know how it will end, so that's what kept me reading. So it is a light read, as Steph said. So try it.
But when I first got on here on the podcast, I was actually kind of going more to a no. But now that we've kind of discussed it and stuff, I would actually recommend it. More so to people who want to start reading manga, especially that it's kind of light.
Well, let's say like who want reading manga and have not anything against ecchi, because ecchi is something that I feel like a lot of people are really like, oh my god, all those, I hate anime and manga because of ecchi. So keep in mind it is ecchi in there, so you will see boobs and guys or Ral grabbing boobs. So.
Well, of course, I'm saying to the person who kind of wants to get into it and kind of, it's a good light one. I thought it was funny enough that I never kind of thought, oh, I don't kind of want to read it. I kind of just kind of kept going because I like to binge manga anyway. But definitely, if you kind of like the, I won't say kind of like stories, then definitely. And yes, there is quite some jiggling in that. But like High School of the Dead, I feel like if you can get over it, you can enjoy the story, kind of.
So last but not least, Daniel, what are you saying? Oh, it's shit, so don't read it.
I've got a cold.
Yeah, I've got the man. No, well, I don't know. We should have asked him at least if he would recommend it or not. But I think he won't. Yeah, it's a yes from everybody.
Yes.
So yeah, overall, as we said, we would recommend it. Read it if you're enjoying like the shonen ecchi stuff, and it's fast. Nothing wrong to do here. And that's actually pretty much it. It was really, really fun to have all my friends here together for this podcast. And as I said before, we are going to do this now every month. We are going to choose now a new manga. I will either write this maybe in a comment below, or probably either want to note this on Facebook or Twitter. I'm going to shout this out, what we are going to read next. And yeah, it was fun to read. I hope you had a lot of fun. And now I'm going to give to my friends to tell you where to follow them and all that jazz. And then, or not to follow, just say bye, Jamie. and then we wrap this whole thing up. So Jamie, say bye.
Bye.
I love when he does it.
Yeah, it matches to his picture.
Just for this episode.
It's going to be your catchphrase.
Yeah. Well, if someone wants to follow me, it's on Instagram, Misread Misaki. And bye-bye.
If people would like to hear my voice, I guess, I do a YouTube channel and I mostly do visual novel playthroughs. And I have one currently going on with Steph, which is completely ecchi-tastic.
Yeah.
But also, you can find me on Twitter. It's Shinpoki. It's not the most exotic thing, but hey, there you go. Anna, bye!
Okay, and Infernikus, well, you can find me on Infernikus Plays. Well,
bloody hell.
I'm going to link all the social media stuff, except for Jamie. Well, Jamie, all the stuff in the description down below, so you can check all their stuff. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in for this podcast, and we see us next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Please do the kuro again.
Stop it now.